Stand by to launch FanStream Sports.
3, 2, 1.
Let's start.
Hello, sports fans. Welcome to FanStream Sports. Nothing but pure sports. This is the JP Show.
JP, it is so good to hear you back on the air.
Stand by. Now, here's JP.
All righty then. Welcome into a incredibly interesting, funny, I hope all this is true, provocative edition of the JP Peterson Show here on semifinal Thursday. We got a big football game tonight, Timmy. I don't know if you know this.
Sir.
We got a big football game tonight. But everybody wants to talk about that dude over your would be your right shoulder. Welcome in, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. You guys are already in the chat today. We got lots to get to today, and I have devoted the entire second half of this show to you people. You people. Yesterday.
What do you mean, you people?
You people. The Petermans. We love them dearly. And I don't feel like we've been giving them the short shrift here, Timmy, but, we've had a lot of news, and we had about 500 comments yesterday. I couldn't count them all. And we got to a bunch, but just I feel like I haven't been giving you all your say. So I'm going to we have one guest today. Mike Murphy's going to join us. He is the CEO of Murphy Auto and also one of the limited partners for your Tampa Bay Rays. So we are going to chat with him a little bit. Big Miami guy as well. He knows more about the Hurricanes, so we'll preview that game and talk about all kinds of fun stuff. But also, and then the rest of that is going to be you and me, talking about what's going on with the Bucs. All right?
Wait, is there Bucs news? Is there something going on with the Bucs?
Actually, I just saw in the chat that Grizz was fired. I have not. I'm trying to let me see if there's something official that has been released by Buccaneers media. The media, because I don't think there is, because they would send that officially in the email. It has not.
Yes, I don't know. I'm seeing multiple reports that Grizzard has been fired.
Okay, well,
like everywhere, all over the internet.
Okay, all right. Well, this is not.
But that doesn't make it official. I'm just multiple places are reporting the same thing.
Mm-hmm. All right. There you go. So the first shoe has dropped. The first scapegoat has been goated. The first scapegoat has been goated. Wow. Wasn't the offense ranked higher than the defense?
As a matter of fact, the funniest headline I see here is from Clutch Points, or good friends at Clutch Points, by the way, that says Buccaneers Todd Bowles keeps promise by firing OC Josh Grizzard after one season 4 minutes ago.
There you go. So
he said things would change, right?
Yeah, things are changing. That's great.
What we wanted.
So let me get this right. So yesterday we had this long discussion about and I came here and I told you that a trusted source had told me that the Bucs ownership, much like Rondé has talked about, much as Bruce Arians has talked about, the folks who know the Glazers the best, that they love Todd Bowles and they're not going to fire him. And yesterday we hear via Rick Stroud, Bucs beat writer, longtime beat writer, that he texted with Todd Bowles and Todd Bowles told Rick that he's coming back. And I do not doubt the veracity of that at all. So that they had a text exchange. Tim, let me ask you this. You've covered the NFL for a long time. Lots of different teams. Have you ever, in a situation like this where the head coach is very much in question and his future is in question and the fan base is in total revolt, ever had a coach returning announcement done by text by a sports writer and then the sports writer telling the fan base the coach is coming back? So the sports writer via the coach, by the text, is the announcement that the coach is coming back.
Never have I ever, in my 30 plus years, heard of a situation like this. Especially, think about this, especially in a culture in Tampa Bay where your GM sometimes jokes around and places breaking news on his Twitter account, his X account.
Yeah.
Where he will say, confirmed from a source, which is always his himself, such and such is happening. We signed so-and-so, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
which is unique, but it's funny.
Yeah.
But why not utilize that or a statement from the team? The Buccaneers organization makes public statements all the time.
Where's
on
the
social
statement?
media.
Where's the statement? And it's not like
no statement.
And it's not like there's, it's some outlandish idea that maybe, the coach might be fired, and it's like, oh, we don't need to release a statement. Where, obviously Todd Bowles has come back. It's not that. It's not that situation. No. The whole fan base is on edge. Like, what the hell's going on? And by the way, the whole fan base, and I do mean 99% of the fan base, is like they want him gone. And this is how we announce the coach is coming back, with a triumphant text message exchange between a sports writer and the head coach. That's how it's announced. And by the way, I'm not denigrating Rick at all. It's a great job, and he does a fantastic job, and great job. He got the story. It's fantastic. Congrats on the
weird
Sports Writer of the Year award. Yeah.
Doesn't make it not weird. Yeah.
No, I'm not. That's not what I'm talking about here at all. What I'm talking about is, where are the freaking Glazers? Where's Jason Light? Where's the accountability to the fan base? And listen, I love the Glazers. I think they've done a tremendous job. Most recently, I know Brian and Joel, and I've known them for a long time. And they don't respond to reporters. I would text them, but they're not going to respond. It's just kind of bizarre. It's kind of bizarre. Like, this is not how NFL teams act. It's not how the Buccaneers act. It's not what they do. This is completely bizarre that we're not hearing anything from the Glazers. Maybe it's because they feel like there's nothing that if they did a press conference right now, which I think would be nice to have some accountability to the fan base, it would be a shit show. Because what are they going to say? How are they going to sit up there and answer the questions and all of the negativity and, everything I brought to the table the last few days and it has nothing to do with a guy folding his arms on the sideline. It has to do with his record and what happens on the team and the decisions that are made, the comedy of errors that are constantly happening on the field, the lack of communication, the mental errors, the lack of fire, the lack of physicality, the terrible tackling, the losing. By the way, there's a clue that something might be wrong. The players taking, shots at the coach on not shots, but just, voicing their public displeasure at the soft practices. I mean, there's a litany of things that they would, if they were sitting down in front of the meeting, what would they say? What could they say? No, I guess that answers my own question why they don't. But there should be a statement. We have the ultimate faith in Todd Bowles. We know that there were a lot of injuries this year, a lot of extenuating circumstances, and it was a great start, but we couldn't finish. But we have the ultimate confidence. We're going to make some changes, blah, 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 blah. Not even that. Where is that? I don't get it.
And you know what's funny, JP?
Where's Jason Light? What?
I live in Dallas. I cover the Cowboys for a living. I never thought in early January 2026 I would run across another NFL organization that made the Cowboys organization look stable.
Does this look like a clown show now from the outside?
Oh, 1,000%.
Louis says there's no transparency. And then he says, I think there's more going on behind the scenes than what we're being told. Seems that way.
Yeah.
Kind of seems that way, right? Yeah. As John Thiel said, you answered your own question to why the Glazers are not holding a press conference. It's effing embarrassing. Yeah. I get it. I totally get it. But I listen, the fact that Todd Bowles is coming back, and I don't dispute the veracity of at least at this point. I think things could definitely change. I don't expect them to change. But the precedent has been set. John Gruden being fired 19 days after the season. Even Lovey, I think, was let go a week plus So we're not even to that mark yet. The hiring of John Gruden. I mean, the Glazers have done some crazy, outlandish things when it comes to hiring coaches, and firing coaches. So, I mean, it's anything can happen moving forward, and that's why this is weird. It's like where you don't announce a coach is coming back, especially with this much controversy, in a text message exchange with a reporter, and have the coach do it. The coach is saying, "I'm coming back," right? Isn't it the Glazers' decision? Shouldn't we? I'm not saying Todd's lying to Rick, but he met with the Glazers, and they obviously told him he's coming back, and then he relayed that. Why aren't the Glazers putting out a statement? It's weird. It's kind of weird, and
very weird.
At some point, Jason Light is going to, and I said this yesterday. I don't, and this is my own personal opinion. If I were the general manager of this team, I would be very upset the way the team is being run, with the soft practices, the lack of practicing, the way the games are being managed, the ridiculous clock management that they were supposed to fix with the new guy. He certainly wasn't consulted at the end of the half in the final game. That was a total clown show. I mean, if you're Jason Light, you're saying, listen, I haven't been perfect. We need some more dudes. There's no question about that. But losing 7 out of 8 is that's unacceptable.
Unacceptable.
With this roster, come on, get out of here.
That alone should have been a fireable offense.
Yeah, in every other place it is. The only way you get away with that is if you've won Super Bowls and you've been really consistent over a long track record. Todd Bowles has none of that as a head coach. None. His track record is losing football and mediocrity. That doesn't save you when you lose 7 of 8 and you've underperformed. I don't get it. And we're going to discuss it a little bit further. And we're going to get to all of your comments, hopefully, as we go through the day. So hang in there. And Grizz is fired, so we'll get to that. This is not shocking to me, but it just reeks of scapegoat. This reeks of scapegoat. All right, welcome in my good friend Mike Murphy. How are you, partner? You got your Cane shirt on.
Great day for a great day.
You got your Cane shirt on. Move that mic over there. How are you, partner?
Life is good. How are you?
This is the only time I get to talk to you when you come on my show. I love it. I love it. Mike Murphy, ladies and gentlemen, CEO of Murphy Auto Group, and more importantly, Tampa Bay Rays partner, limited partner. But we're not going to talk baseball today.
No,
because
it's a great day for football.
We're still waiting on things to develop, and so there will be a time, folks, when Mike comes in here and we talk a little bit of Rays baseball, but that time is not now. There's a lot going on behind the scenes, so we'll talk Miami Hurricanes football today because that's your deal.
It. Yeah, I mean, we've been waiting 23 years for this, right? I mean, it started with beating Ohio State, which was a revenge game.
That pick six. Explain to me what you did on the pick six. Where were you? What was your reaction? I wish I had video.
16 rows up, 50-yard line, Miami side in Dallas. And I tried to bust out my Ray Lewis dance and hit people on both sides of me. So unfortunately for them, they were.
Now I'd rather see a cutaway to that than Michael Irvin, to be honest with you. But I'm done with that.
But Michael Irvin, man, he brings the hype, the energy, the juice, and he's that same way at practice. It's just an amazing human being.
He goes to practice too?
He's everywhere. Yeah, he's got a lot of access to the team. Him and Mario played together.
I know, but for God's sake, can we focus on Malachi Toney? These guys instead of Michael Irvin?
Well, you know what? Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe the fact we're not talking about Malachi Toney, and maybe Ole Miss forgot about Baby Jesus.
You did.
What a great nickname.
Is he still 17?
No, he turned 18 during the season.
Okay. I don't know. I'm like, this is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. That kid has transformed the team.
Oh, it's amazing. How do you
How many big plays did he make to win games this year? Every game?
He had a big play or 2 or 3 every game to win the game, at least half the games.
Yeah.
And not all at wide receiver. I mean, he threw 3 touchdowns that were dimes.
He reminds me a lot of Warwick Dunn.
Yeah.
You know, Warwick as a freshman had that same impact at FSU.
For sure.
It just come out of nowhere. It's just a baby. And they're going up against these grown-ass men and just dominating. No fear. No fear.
Interesting for a guy that played quarterback last year in high school, too. On top of it all, he's learning a new position. And he's
a 3-star, right?
Man.
3-star?
3-star.
Nobody talked about him.
No.
So so he played quarterback in Miami, right? High school in Miami?
He did, but only after their quarterback got hurt. So halfway through the season, he shifted to quarterback and then took him to the state championship.
Jeez, oh, Pete.
Yeah.
What a player.
Now, I think the best thing about Malachi Toney, if you watch him, is for a guy who was 17 in the beginning of the season and is a relatively small guy, look at him blocking. If you look at some of his blocking skills, you're like, who is this kid? I mean, he has great form. He pushes grown men out of the way. And then in Ohio State, he moves some corners that, are going to be in the league.
Yeah, big time. 6'2", 210-pound corners.
Yeah, I guess get on.
What is he, 5'8"? You've probably met him and stood next to him, right?
Yeah, I mean, if I'm 6 foot, he's shorter than me. I should give him 5'10".
160?
Yeah, 160, 170 probably now. But
man, guys like that, yeah.
That shake and bake is ridiculous. Those first steps are just breaking ankles.
But he's strong, too. He's like Bucky. He's like Bucky Irving.
It's a good example.
So, yeah.
I described him as Kyler Murray playing wide receiver.
Yeah.
I mean, same build, same speed, same elusiveness.
Yeah, we haven't seen him throw the ball in a while. We might see that tonight.
You know what? That would be a good prop bet.
Yeah.
Not that I bet, but I would recommend that.
Do you not wager?
No, I don't think I can.
Really? Okay. And not anymore, right? So let's look into this game tonight. And Ole Miss is a very interesting story. They're a great story. This is a situation where you have a team. It's like the old days. They're playing for something bigger.
Absolutely.
In this day of mercenary football and NIL, Lane Kiffin, by God, has made this team galvanized against him. They're playing to prove him wrong. Mm-hmm. And that is a powerful, powerful force.
It's addition by subtraction. You're one person, everybody's locked in together. And it's good. It's good for the game. It's great for, the fans of football to remember this is a team sport. We put so much emphasis on individual performance.
Yeah.
But the power of a group of people believing together with a common purpose and a single goal. I wish we were playing Georgia. I really do. I don't know how many coaches will.
Why?
Well, I think Georgia was much more beatable. I think that's
why I always beat them. That's right.
Yeah. They were more predictable. If you look at the quarterback position, I think it's a little bit easier to defend against. When you have the elusiveness that we're facing with Ole Miss, not that Gunnar Stockton can't run the ball. That's most of what he did. He was their run game.
Yeah.
But this is a better offense, I think, than Georgia. And I'm just worried about the game. I think this is a very, very good team that's motivated. They're inspired a lot like we are. And the big piece of this equation is I think they're going to get the ball out fast because they have to try to neutralize Bailey, neutralize Messidor. Yeah. So is their skill position players better than our DBs? And that's where the game's going to be won or lost.
Yeah, I was a little surprised that Ohio State seemed a little bit was a little bit of hubris thinking that they could take 7-step drops against Bain and Messidor and think that was going to be a winning strategy.
Yeah, well, I don't think the other strategy worked very well for Notre Dame because Notre Dame that first half just tried to get the ball out, and they were in 3rd and 13, felt like all of the first half.
Yeah, when you're going against a good defense like that, it's you got to pick your poison, I guess, and that's why Miami is so good. Their offense has been okay, but this defense suffocating. Talk about that defense.
Well, let's think about the defense a year ago. I mean, we had the best offense in college football with Cam Ward, and we didn't even make the CFP. That defense was a liability. Shout out to Mario. Let's think about what he did. He fired every defensive coach except Jason Taylor and replaced Corey Hederman and his staff, and they went from arguably worst to first out of the 4 that's left.
Yeah.
A lot of that is
so coaching matters and firing your friends is okay.
Yeah. I mean, I wish Al Golden would have done that. Novel concept.
Yeah.
Now we're going to find out how much coaching really matters at this point, right? Because I don't understand how many coaches are actually going to be on the Ole Miss sideline. I've heard 4 are out.
They have Weiss is in, and Kevin, the running backs coach, I think is still there. So 2 out of and 2 left.
Yep.
So and of course Lane was the play caller. So I think he was the play. Was he the play caller or Weiss was the play caller all year?
I believe that Lane called the plays.
I thought so too. Somebody said Weiss did, but I thought Lane was calling plays, but I don't know. Anyway, he was a big part of the offense, obviously doing the game plans, blah, blah, blah. So he leaves. So they're undermanned, but I love what their coach Pete Goldie said was like, I don't give a shit. The players don't give a shit who runs them out of the tunnel. They just want to win.
Yeah. I mean, if we go back to 2001, the Miami Hurricanes was managed by the players. I mean, Larry Coker, great guy, but he didn't discipline anybody. He wasn't going to go give an Ed Reed speech at halftime. That was our job. And we just got to go back to that too. We got to remember that nothing is owed. This is the first time we're favored in a game and in the playoffs. We can't read our own press clippings. We got to be violent. We got to be aggressive. And I'd like to see us talk just a little bit more. This is the time.
Oh, you want a little bit more
we want
swag?
A little more swag. We got to remember we're Miami.
I was saying this the other day. It was like this, like, I hate to say this, but as a Seminole, but these players, they're likable.
Very.
I'm like, I like Mark Fletcher. I like Malachi Tony. I like these guys are like, they're not the old assholes. They're like, I hate that guy. And I say that, figuratively as a Seminole, but they were just so brash and so in your face. These guys aren't really that.
No, not at all. I think NIL has helped when you're already a millionaire and you live in Miami. You got to figure out how to keep your wealth. They've got good habits. And it starts with Mark Richt. Coach Richt brought faith back into a private school.
That's right.
If you look at these Miami Hurricanes, they're praying before the game. They're praying after the game.
Who are these guys?
It's a new you.
Yeah.
It's the new you.
I'm really pleased you said that. I didn't really know that was really part of their culture.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean,
and so that residue remains from Coach Richt. That's awesome.
Yeah. And Mario's a big believer.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a good group of people. He's just so no nonsense that you wouldn't, expect him to give you his testimony anytime soon.
Yeah, right. Is Michael Irvin coming into those praying meetings? Is he?
I think Michael Irvin's in need of saving. He's been saved and probably still needs to be saved.
I think that's well said.
But I
can vouch for every bit of that in Dallas.
As somebody who lives in Dallas, yes. Yeah, it's on a roller coaster, no doubt about it. All right, so are you concerned about your quarterback? I saw a stat this morning that Carson Beck has not completed a ball of 15 air yards downfield this entire playoff. And when watching the games that you lost, that's probably a good thing. He's really protecting the football. And if you're winning games, then if you got to win 10-3, win 10-3.
Exactly.
Right?
Carson's
Tim.
Carson's job is to win the national championship. Stats do not matter. I think with this run game, as long as we establish a run game early, play action is going to be a bigger part of our game. We're going to have to take some shots. We're going to have to score more points than we historically have. This is a good Ole Miss team. He'll take a couple shots. Don't be surprised if it's Malachi Tony taking the deep ball shot, though.
Yeah, I would throw it to that guy 20 times a game.
Yeah, throw two.
Even with Carson Beck.
Or watch him throw. I mean, we arguably have two quarterbacks in some formations.
He's going to throw tonight. I got to find that prop bet. I got to find that prop bet somewhere, no doubt about it. So offensively, I mean, what type of game do you expect? You think it's going to be a shootout? I don't think you can do that with this Miami defense.
Yeah, I don't want to get in a shootout. I want the ball first. I want to run the ball. I want to establish the run. I want to play the clock. I want to go into halftime with a lead. And I think that's the best way to beat them. You don't want to give Ole Miss momentum. You don't want to give anybody momentum. But that's what happened in the Georgia game. In the fourth quarter, you could feel it flip like a coin. And you're like, uh-oh, Georgia's trying not to lose the game.
Right.
And that's what I mean by that confidence, that swagger. I want us, if we're up, to continue to keep the foot on the gas, because this is a very good team that you do want to give them hope. You do not want to give Ole Miss hope.
Yeah. I wonder what the crowd's going to be like tonight.
Yeah, well, it's interesting. It's a commute for both of us, huh?
Yeah,
I don't understand why Ole Miss and Miami are in Phoenix and Oregon is in Atlanta. Like,
that's weird.
Different.
If you haven't noticed, college football's all fucked up.
Yeah.
Like they are doing nothing right. Like, except the ratings have never been bigger.
Yeah.
And the money has never been bigger.
People love controversy.
Yeah.
What do you think about Nick Saban's desire for a commissioner of college football?
I'm all for it.
I think
1,000%. I mean, that discussion that they had on game day last week where Herb Street was like, this man to the right of me, I'm calling out the commissioners. And Saban's like, I'll be there. Like, and I said this yesterday. So you know a lot about college football. You've been around as long as I have, and the big programs. So you know what works and what doesn't work. And, I've been sounding the alarms for all this shit happening for 20 years. And I was begging these commissioners and the NCAA, feckless as they are, to get some leadership and say, this is coming down. If you don't change it and do it incrementally and control it, the courts are going to do it for you, and you don't want that.
No.
It's just like going to a divorce. You better figure it out beforehand before you go in there, because nobody's going to win.
Just a bloodbath.
It's a bloodbath, right? And nobody wins. And so control it, get it right, but they were all too greedy to do it. They were all too greedy. Everybody was just clutching into their self-interest and trying to increase the power of the SEC, the Big 12, the Big 10. Nobody's looking out for the collective.
And other sports, right? So, yeah. I mean, how ridiculous is it that Cal is in the ACC?
It's patently ridiculous, but we just sit here and go, okay. No, it doesn't work. So if the power brokers that are, so I would say the Big 10, right? Mm-hmm. ESPN,
okay,
Fox,
Disney, yep,
Fox, obviously the SEC, Those are, to me, the big four. But I think you got to, ceremonially have the ACC and the Big 12, with their little feckless commissioners. Well, not the Big 12, the ACC, the Jim Phillips, give him a little chair at the kids' table just so he's in the room. And those guys got to, and then jolly old St. Nick at the top. They got to come in and get into a room and say, guys, we're not doing what's in the best interest of you, Greg Sankey. We're not doing what's in the best interest of you, ESPN. We got to figure this out together. And if we do, we all get richer. We have a better sport. It's better for the fans. And we have something that's long living. Otherwise, you're going to kill the golden goose. Is that fair?
Agreed. And there's common denominators that we can start that process now. I don't think anybody would agree that the portal being now makes any sense. Like Lane shouldn't have had to choose.
Nope.
These players shouldn't have to choose. I think the portal should open after the last bowl game, and it still gives you plenty of time to spring practice.
Yeah. It makes no sense. If you have an NFL model that works, okay, we all know now that the players should be paid, but not to the level of the NFL. But there's a model there that works, and we can create a hybrid model with college football, but it has to be with guardrails and something that inevitably is a level playing field as much as you can make it for the majority of these teams historically, and get them back in their geographic areas where they need to be, restore the traditional rivalries and the geographic rivalries, and let's have some sanity to this.
Completely agree. I mean, it's absolutely amazing when you think of non-income sports that Miami's women volleyball is flying to California to play a game while they have classes. That's not an income producing sport there. NIL is not going to carry them into the future.
No.
So, I've got 2 little girls, and I'd be thinking about this from both genders. We've got to make sure we protect conferences for non-income sports.
Right.
But would you support a super conference for football where it looks a lot more like the NFL?
No.
What should it look like?
I think we should go backwards. I think we should, go backwards and bring back all the old geographic conferences and the old geographic rivalries.
Okay.
I think that to me makes the most sense. To your point, the money we are wasting on sending the rowing team across country in the middle of an academic year is ridiculous. It's patently ridiculous, and it can't continue. These right now, you're seeing this. These athletic departments are like, they think there's an endless flow of money, and they're finding out there's not.
Correct.
Especially at Florida State. It's like, oh, wait, we got to pay the piper. We got to buy out. We got to what? Yeah, we got to get rid of these buyouts. Ridiculous. But that's part of what this commission can do, but you have to have everybody buy in, and you have to have people like the SEC give up some power. And I don't know if that's doable.
Well, it's not going to be doable without a Nick Saban, right? Because the thing
without congressional pressure.
Correct.
Yeah.
But think Roger Goodell, right? Like, he's not a very liked person. But leadership is not about popularity. It's about having, the fortitude to make tough decisions. And if we're trying to do groupthink and get all the commissioners to agree
and make everybody feel good,
it's going to be impossible. I mean, like that's some Kamala thinking. Like, we've got to get back to somebody has to be the decision maker.
Yeah.
And although I'm a recovering Dolphins fan, in Nick Saban I trust.
Yeah.
He's got what's the best interest of college football for us,
and the best knowledge, and understands the collective mindset of college football. And I do think we're at an existential point here, and it's a crisis. And I know people are saying, "Well, look at the money, look at the ratings." It won't last. There's too much dissatisfaction. I see it among FSU fans. I don't know if you see it among Miami fans. Probably not, because you're winning right now. But that can change every year with the portal.
Well, look at last year when we got left out of the playoffs. We were miserable.
Exactly. So everybody knows that it's broken, but it feels like nobody wants to fix it or has the guts to do it. To your point, the leadership.
Could we ask ChatGPT, hey, AI, fix college football? I wonder what the answer is.
You might not like it. We might not like that. Anyway, so before you go, I want to say a big thank you to you, first of all, for making all this possible here, and the Petermans. We have just grown exponentially since we've come into this space. It gives us a lot of credibility. It's wonderful. So thank you for that. Second of all you're doing in the community, Genesis of Tampa, you guys have kind of just jumped back in the Tampa market, but you're already kind of taking over that philanthropy space in terms of auto dealers, and you've done it with both feet. So a thank you from the community, number one. Why is this so important to you?
It's interesting. The first time I ever gave my testimony, and a Hurricane fan, Seminole fan, was introducing Tim Tebow. And Timmy said to me one day, he goes, Mike, you lied. You tell people you're for profit, but you're for purpose. And I thought about that for a while. Denzel Washington says you'll never see a U-Haul behind a hearse. So we can be successful. We can, achieve a lot of great things, make a lot of money. But if we don't do something good with it, what's the point?
Yeah.
So, my grandpa couldn't read or write. My dad grew up in a very, very humbled house.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So in just 2 generations, we've done so much that I feel like it's an obligation to take care of my community. Born and raised in Tampa Bay. That's a lot of reasons I love the Rays and made the investment I did into the Rays. But most importantly, I love the people of Tampa Bay. We've given over 1,000 turkeys to Metropolitan Ministries, to the MJ Morning Show, other people. But what we don't talk about is just me and 4 of my friends raised 24,000 toys for kids this Christmas. And that's just a drop in the bucket. Trust me, other business owners, as you're listening, that charity is a selfish act. It makes somebody feel good temporarily. It makes you feel good for a lifetime. So I encourage more people to just start with a cause, start with a foundation. And for us, every month we love on a different part of the community. It's January. So at Genesis of Tampa, when you buy a vehicle, we're supporting female athletics at USF.
Oh, I love that.
And we'll be doing some.
Like I saw Ken Erickson last night, my good buddy. That's awesome.
Yeah.
The softball coach, for those who don't know.
Yeah, and I'm thinking that's a perfect program because, we want to get a couple female athletes to come in, drive the Genesis, talk about it, do some NIL marketing. But most importantly, if it wasn't for the game of baseball, my dad played for the Dodgers, we would still be in poverty in Kendall. We'd still be in Miami. So without sports, where were we as a country? I think Jackie Robinson did more to advance this country than politicians did.
100%.
And we've got to continue to just double down on our community.
Yeah, sports, I've always said this, sports leads the way in terms of serious social change. I always point to Jackie Robinson. You could point to the integration of baseball, what football has done. It's a powerful vehicle for social change. And it could be misused at times, in my opinion, but and I don't necessarily like mixing politics with my sports, but doing good has no politics.
Exactly.
Has no politics. And it's and that's I love what you guys are doing. I love the philosophy of your company, and what you stand for. And that's why I tell these guys every day, if you're gonna make a choice and you have to go buy a car, go do it with, for all of our advertisers. They're all local companies. And we say it all the time, support your local companies. They're the ones that are employing your friends, your moms, your dads, and making this community work. When you buy from Amazon and everything else, that money ain't staying here.
Exactly. It needs to circulate in the community.
Yes.
And we even use local printers, local, every service.
You make a conscious choice to do that.
Yeah. Even if it's not the cheapest, we want to make sure, especially in Haines City, Augusta, North Augusta, Aiken, where we're smaller communities, we've got to support our local business owners because they're the same people who are going to be buying vehicles from us.
Exactly. Like it's kind of, again, doesn't seem selfish, but it kind of is. But it's that mentality. We always say, let's complete the circle. They're supporting your favorite sports talk show. You support them. It all comes together. And then we all support charities and doing great things in the community. And by the way, what you guys did in buying the Rays, and we're probably a few years away from seeing what all that's going to mean finally for Tampa Bay. We won't talk about what's going on, but I just want to say thank you and to all the ownership group. It's a great thing that you did, and I can't wait to see what the results are.
Well, I'm
very
just a
excited.
very small drop in the bucket, but what I'm impressed with is senior leadership. Between Patrick and Ken and Bill, they love the community. They care about the community. The biggest misunderstanding is that these are people from Orlando and Jacksonville. Most of us are Tampa born and raised owners, and we care about our community. We care about a great product on the field and a great fan experience. We are in amazing hands with Ken.
I'm going to clip that.
Sure.
Put it on social media.
Get their approval.
Okay. All right. We will. You take care of that part, but I'd like to put that out there. Thank you, partner.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate you.
I'm going to say this. It's hard for me to say it, but good luck.
Thank you.
Good luck
go
tonight.
Canes, you just try it. Just put the thumbs together. It feels so good.
This is going to be like forever. People are going to
go Utah.
I can't do it. I can't do it. Good luck.
It's a good start.
Can I just give you that?
Yeah, man, that was great. It's progress.
All right. I guess.
I'll be listening from the car.
All right. Thanks, partner.
Alrighty,
Appreciate it. Mike Murphy, everybody, go to Genesis of Tampa. It's time for my live read. Genesis of Tampa. They got a great thing going. You got the Founders thing coming up this week, right? Here, give me the details. I didn't get to my email yet that Avery sent me.
Sorry about that. So Founders Day was my dad's birthday. He passed away from cancer. So to honor our founder, we have amazing deals. We've got an additional $1,000 off all Genesis in stock. We're also going to make your first payment on all new Genesis in stock. And it's just a way to keep my dad's memory alive and well. He was the man. I miss him like crazy. If your parents are still alive, give him a call. Tell them you love them.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You're also, I did read this part. If you're trading in a 2018 BMW, you're going to give me 2019 BMW.
Correct. Yeah.
right?
We're appraising every vehicle a year newer.
Mhm.
I
remember
love
that
that.
part.
Not everybody has a trade-in, but if you have a trade-in, now
got
is the
two.
time to trade in.
I got
Let's
two.
trade them both in on a new Genesis.
I like that idea. Ashley really likes that
Ashley-
idea. She wants the one. She wants the red one with the white interior. Or wait, it's the white one with the red. I don't know, but she'll
White
tell
one,
you.
red interior. The red interior is absolutely
Oh,
gorgeous.
she loves that.
These are amazing vehicles. If people haven't driven a Genesis, they just need to come out and drive one, even
Yep.
if you're not in the market for a new vehicle.
Yeah, and you get 10x entry into the what are we giving away?
Ooh,
I forgot about that.
This month we got
Oh,
gas for a
card.
year.
Gas
gas
for
for a year. So based on your gas mileage and how much you drive for the year, we're going to pick up your gas in 2026. All you got to do is drive a new Genesis.
God, she's giving everything away. All right, get out of here. You
All
got
right.
work to do. Thank you.
Cheers, guys.
That was my live read. Best one I ever did.
I agree.
That's what I ever. All right, Timmy, let's take a break. We're coming back and we're talking Bucs football. All you guys in the chat, you're going to be the stars today. So whatever you're feeling right now, let's just get it out. Let's just get it all out. It'll be a cathartic hour and a half just to get it all out. And
Can't wait.
and maybe we'll even talk about who our new offensive coordinator is going to be. I'm so excited.
Ooh.
Who could Todd Bowles possibly bring in? Maybe you could bring Vince Lombardi back from the dead, 3 yards in a cloud of dust. Maybe.
Bill Walsh, is he
We'll
still
see.
alive?
Back in 3. At Genesis of Tampa, they got some serious ho going on this Christmas. It's the Miracle Holiday Sales Event and their 30 days of giving. First, for any new vehicle in the month of December sold, first payment will be deferred 90 days, and then the dealership will make the first payment up to $500. That can save you a lot of cash that you can use for Christmas shopping. And every day in December, they're giving away a $500 shopping spree. All you got to do is have your car appraised, and you get an entry into the daily drawing for the $500 shopping spree. And every weekend day in December, customers simply need to stop by the dealership, scan the QR code, and they get an entry into the $500 shopping spree contest. No purchase necessary. Test drive a vehicle, and we will 10x your entry into the shopping spree. Christmas and New Year's Eve, each holiday, if a customer books a test drive for the specified day, they will receive a themed t-shirt, limited edition, as well as an additional $250 off the purchase price. Bottom line is, get your butt and your sleigh down to Genesis of Tampa, 801 East Bears Avenue, just off 275. It's going to be a big Christmas at Genesis of Tampa. Italiano Insurance would like to congratulate the Bucs on their 50th anniversary season. And you know what? We've been here for every season and then some, over 60 years in business. We've seen some smart coaches with great game plans, but if you don't have flood insurance or business insurance, that's a terrible game plan. That could ruin you financially. You don't want to take that L. So call 813-877-7799 and let their friendly agents quarterback your insurance and save you big money. Italiano also sponsors our FSU report every week. So go Noles. 813-877-7799 or go to ItalianoInsurance.com. JP here for Riveters, the official sports bar and grill of the JP Peterson Show. We're located just south of Ray J and Steinbrenner Field, so it's a great pre- and post-game spot, and the happy hour is amazing. Monday through Friday, 3 to 7. Check out these specials. $3 Bud Light drafts, $4 domestic bottles, $5 wells, $6 premium wells, $6 cocktails like margaritas. It's unheard of. And the Riveters food is freshly made daily. No freezers. Happy hour food specials include $3.50 tacos and barbecue sliders. $6 you get edamame or chips with the beer cheese, which is amazing. $8 buffalo chicken dip, my favorite. The truffle fries, chili cheese fries, also $8 at happy hour. As well as other specials throughout the week, including Taco Tuesdays, you get $3 tacos, and Wing Wednesdays, 7 o'clock to 1 a.m. in the morning, you get our amazing wings, 5 for $5 and $5 wells and wines. That's a good Wednesday night. So if you're tired of the preppy, overpriced generic sports bars, come see the amazing, friendly bartenders and staff at Riveters, where customer service really matters. Riveters, just south of where the Rays and Bucs play. We'll see you there. Although it may seem tempting to go without health care insurance, the financial risk far outweighs the gain you may experience. For example, did you know if you simply broke your leg, it could cost you nearly $7,500? Put on top of that a hospital stay, you could be looking at $10,000 to $15,000. Ensuring that you don't go uncovered is so important, as according to CNBC, high medical bills are the highest contributing factor to why Americans end up taking money out of their retirement savings, or worse, find themselves filing bankruptcy. So go to don'tgouncovered.com or call 800-669-1505. Now, depending on your income, you can get plans for zero premium. Our experts will guide you through the process effortlessly. They will shop many plans and find the one that's right for you. I called and I have full health coverage through Florida Blue for zero monthly premium. It's a free call. So why go uncovered? It's a huge risk. Go to don'tgouncovered.com or call 800-669-1505. That's 800-669-1505. Hey, JP here for my concierge medical professional, Chris Lugo, PA. You've heard him on the show for a couple of years where he shares invaluable medical, nutritional, and supplement advice. With Chris, it's like having a medical provider as your best friend. What I love about this concierge service is the convenience and support he offers. I can text or call him 24/7 with any questions or concerns, and he'll promptly call in a prescription if needed. No office visits or copays required. It gives me peace of mind knowing I have someone genuinely invested in my health, not just focused on insurance profits. And the best part, the Bay Area Modern Medical Center's personal concierge service is more affordable than you might think. Don't let insurance companies dictate your health care. Take control of your health and wellness today. Visit BAMMC.com for more information and to schedule your initial free consultation. Empower yourself and take charge of your personal health with BAMMC.com.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show, brought to you by the great folks at the Gold and Diamond Source. It's a new year, a great time to pop the question. And, you know, if you're going to go look for a ring, first of all, make it a real diamond. Don't do it a fake diamond. Don't start your life off like that. It's a really bad idea. Get a natural, real diamond at the Gold and Diamond Source. They have the best selection. They have the best staff. They make it so easy for you. Trust me, I did it. Nick Geddes did it. So many have done it before us. It's the place to go. And it's a great local company, just like we're talking about. Let's keep it in-house, folks. They'll make you a great deal, and you'll be a customer for life, because that's what happens. You become part of the family, the Weintraub Jewelry family, and you're going to shop there all your life. That's just what happens, and it's a great local business, so let's do that. Let's keep it all local. It's a great selection. They got a great extended men's section there that you can get a watch, whatever you're looking for, a necklace, like a nice little necklace that I got right here. Anything you want at the Golden Diamond Source. 3800 Overton Road, always online at the goldendiamondsource.com. All right, Timmy. You ready to get into this?
I'm ready.
All right. First of all, let's deal with the breaking news. Josh Grizzard has been fired. The offense coordinator, first year. I've said all year, I kind of give him a pass because of it's his first year calling plays. And by the way, the offense was ranked total offense 18th in yards. Just obviously near the middle of the pack.
Yeah.
But it tailed off at the end of the season. I really feel like there was some meddling going on from the head coach to control the ball, run the ball more, stay away from throwing the ball downfield. Obviously Baker was hurt, and that's obviously a pretty smart decision if your quarterback can't push the ball down the field. But he looked like in the last few weeks that he could start pushing the ball down the field, like he had healed a little bit. And we didn't see that in critical situations or at all in the Carolina game for the most part. So I don't know. I'm not going to say it's the worst idea in the world to fire Grizzard. But the problem now remains, who's going to come work for a lame duck coach? And everybody and you could say whatever you want, but anybody with any sense that's going to put their family's life on the line in terms of moving to Tampa, moving everything, your job security here is minimal at best with Todd Bowles. I mean, that's just the fact. So I think it's going to be a limited pool, and who knows, maybe Mike McDaniels will be looking for a job.
Yeah, because here's what's getting lost in all of this. We're talking about, the Glazers potentially missing out on a great head coaching candidate in this cycle, right? There's a lot of guys available.
Yeah.
But you're also going to miss out on potentially great offensive coordinators that those head coaches will hire under them.
Right.
So, who's going to be the next great OC in Tampa? Well, are they going to pick another one, or are they going to have another dud like they did last year? I feel like the duds are more common than the breakouts, right? The Liam Cohens and the Dave Canales don't come along every year. Those were miracles that those guys had the seasons that they did in their first shot, and they went on to be head coaches. But not only are you going to miss out potentially on, on the Stefanskis and the Harbaughs and the whoever you want as a head coach, but those guys also will bring in a new OC that could potentially be the next big thing. And you're not going to have any of that now. You're going to rely on the same people that hired Grizzard last year.
Yeah. And it's not, it puts you in a very precarious position as a franchise to go out and start hiring coaches in this cycle when everybody knows that Todd Bowles is already on the hot seat before the season even starts. And the Glazers are kind of contributing to this because they're not coming out and saying anything. And if you can't come out and do a press conference because you might be afraid of all the questions and how silly it will look, well, then maybe you're making the wrong decision. You think?
Yeah.
If you can't defend your decision publicly but by the way, not only defend it, but do it with a full throat, with your chest. I mean, if you believe so much in Todd Bowles, come out and tell us why. I'm all ears. What's going on behind the scenes that we don't know? What are the qualifying circumstances that would let you look at what you've seen on the field, not only this year, but years past? A lot of mediocrity. There's nothing that's exceptional about it. And say, this is going to get better. I'm all ears. Seriously, I don't say that. I want to know what is going on behind the scenes that we don't know, because what we see is not good enough. And if there's a big enough sample size, like Evan Klosky said yesterday, we now have a sample size of 4 years, and it all looks the same. Mediocre defense, soft defense, terrible clock management, timeout usage, players that aren't even happy with the way how soft the practices are and how complex the defense is. I mean, what are we talking about? What are the positives? We've won 3 division titles.
The Dolphins just fired Mike McDaniel, by the way.
Yeah, I said that a second ago.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't see that it was official until just now.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of owners out there that don't accept mediocrity.
Even the Dolphins.
Even the Dolphins are firing their coach. Yeah. I mean, and I'm not to say that he didn't deserve it. He did. Yeah. All right, let's get to the comments as we promised here. By the way, the John Harbaugh situation, according to a report by Benjamin Albright, Harbaugh wanted to say in who his GM would be. So evidently the Bucs did reach out to his representatives. So the Glazers, and I'm guessing that was Jason Light, and he said, sorry, he wants his own GM, which is, that's his prerogative. He's very much wanted. He can name his terms. And that's no slight on Jason.
Unfortunately, that's the culture of the league. That's not how it's supposed to be, right? The coach should not be able to pick his GM. It's the other way around.
Right.
And I hate that's where this has gone. I hate it with a passion. But here we are. So, because you're basically the GM yourself. If you're the head coach handpicking your GM, well, then you're involved in decisions probably way more than you should be. And I don't think he had that in Baltimore. Eric DeCosta did not consult John Harbaugh on a daily basis on personnel decisions. I'm sure he, as much as any GM would a coach, right? Like he has a little bit of input, but Eric DeCosta did not let John Harbaugh make the final decisions when he went out and picked up free agents, made draft picks, and that's what John Harbaugh wants.
All right, let's go to these comments. And by the way, Petermans, we said this before. I'll just repeat it. A lot of since StreamYard has gone to your YouTube names now as a default. If you want to just put what you want to be known as, what your name is, just right at the front, like Kenneth or Joe or Dipstick or Happy Gator, whatever you want to be known as. Just put it right before dash
I'm saving idiot for mine. Y'all can't have that one. That's mine.
And eventually I'll memorize your names, like in 5 years. But yeah, because I hate saying some of these names that I know you guys don't want me to be referred to as. Like this one, Florida Lone Wolf. If this is true that Todd is back as coach, we will be the laughing stock of the league, and you might as well put next year in the bag. Could be one of the stupidest moves ever in the NFL. Yeah, as I said this last night on Twitter, it's a colossal mistake. All the goodwill that the Bucs and Brian Ford as their CEO and the Glazers as spending all the money they did for the Super Bowl and everything else, all that stuff that they've done, the incredible things in the community, it just kind of, you blow it all up by doing stuff like this, by not only not listening to your fan base, even though it just come out and acknowledge that everybody's pissed off and tell us why we shouldn't be. Yeah. Transparency works, guys. And I know the Glazers have not been very good at this. So if the JP Peterson Show PR department would like to, in media training, would like to, put out a nice little piece of advice here, it's be transparent. If you believe in what you're doing, come before the press. It's not like we're vultures out there and, it's going to be a screaming match like you might get in some other markets. That's not happening here. We have some very thoughtful, wonderful people in the and we have some idiots too, but most of us will ask very, fair, respectful questions, and you should have answers for them. And if you don't, then maybe you should rethink what you're doing. Aviation says Grizz just got fired. Todd will be coaching the Bucs next year, 98% likely. Yeah, I mean, I'd still do think something could happen. But at this point, probably not. I'm trying to look at the defensive ranks here. Where's the defensive ranks
for the Bucs?
They were 18th on offense, total offense, 20 in scoring offense, and the offensive coordinator got fired. And by the way, does that suggest that there was a rift between the new offensive coordinator and Todd Bowles? I sense there was, especially the way the offense changed in the second half of the season when they were losing. But I know this: the second half of the season, the Bucs were almost dead last in every defensive category. For the last 9 games, they were dead last. But
you want the offensive rankings or the defensive rankings?
I want the defensive rankings. I just gave you the offensive rankings.
Okay.
Because the offense coordinator got fired, so the defense must be doing much better if the defense coordinator is not fired, by logic, right?
Well, you wonder if that's part of the deal. Hey, we'll let you stay. We've talked about this ad nauseum. We'll let you stay, Todd, but someone else is running a new defense here.
All right, so you're not going to call the defense. You're not going to coach the defense. We're going to defend new defensive coordinator. You're not going to do clock management. You got to stay away from the offense. So what is it you do around here? You inspire the team with fiery speeches. You're going to manage the game, do a great job clock managing and managing how the games progress, when to go for it, when not to, all that. So what is it Todd Bowles is going to do? You're just keeping him because what? The players like him. Of course they love him. They get all the time off. It's the softest team in the NFL. Some of the players don't like it. Yaya Diaby doesn't like it. And I'm guessing a few more. Bantry.
If you want these points allowed, they were 21st.
Okay.
Total yards allowed 19th. Passing yards allowed 27th.
Worse than the offense.
Rushing yards allowed 5th.
Yeah, they've always been good at that because it's so easy to throw on them. Why do you want to run?
Yeah, 19th in sacks, then 12th in interceptions.
Yeah, but that guy gets retained, but the offensive guy's got to go. Is that the definition of scapegoat? I believe it is.
By the way, Todd Monken is the leader in the clubhouse to take over as OC in Tampa. The problem is he's also getting head coaching looks. He's got an interview with Cleveland for their head coaching job.
I don't think he's going to get a head coaching job.
I don't either. I really don't. And again, I'm not so concerned about who they bring in as OC as they are how the defense is handled. I'd love to see Todd Monken here running the offense. My question is, who's running the defense? That's the bigger question.
By the way, I don't want to walk around coach. I want to run around coach.
When was the last time Todd Bowles ran anywhere?
Has nothing to do with this. Bantry says the Glazers have not made an official announcement as yet. Grizz being fired isn't a surprise. Still waiting to see what other changes are made, if any. But my point is, like, what is it going to help? If Todd Bowles is still the head coach and can veto anything that everybody's doing, what's the point? Because as a head coach, aren't you in charge of making all the major decisions? Aren't you going to, what is your input going to be over the defense? The defense coordinator going to say, hey, shut up? I mean, what? I don't get it. Explain to me how it works. What if you're going to pay the guy? What is he doing to make your team better, more sellable, this experience more enjoyable? After all, this is entertainment. Are you entertained, Bucs fans, right now? Is this entertaining for you? To go sit in the rain against the Saints and watch in a must-win game and let your team get their ass kicked by a crappy Saints team? And so all their fans can rip you on the way out? Is that what you spend thousands of dollars for on tickets? That's entertaining? I can't think that business model is really going to fly for a long time. I don't know. And I would caution podcast hosts about laughing at the fans who are pissed off. I would caution against that, but feel free. Breaking news, Knowles hired Todd Bowles. FSU hires Norvell. It's a race to see who gets 4 wins first.
Buccaneers hire Mike Norvell.
Yeah, that's what I think they meant. Let's trade coaches. What's the difference? Bad. Sergio Biltra says, someone want to put out an APB on Bucs basement. I'm concerned since the news of Bowles returning. Has he not showed up today?
Haven't seen him, have we?
We haven't.
Oh, no.
I think we know where he's at.
Welfare
Skyway
check.
alert. Skyway alert. Aviation says coaching has got to be tough in the men's league. You can look like Liam or Grizz and never coach again. Meaningful game again. I don't know. I don't have a huge problem with Josh Grizzard. Was he ready to be a play caller? I don't know. Was Liam Cohen ready?
He was most certainly not given keys for success in his first year as an OC.
No. The offensive line injuries were really, really debilitating. And if you're a seasoned coach like Todd Bowles and you've been through this with lots of injuries, you should be able to coach around it, right?
Yeah.
For a first-time play caller and play designer, that's a tough one. And again, it really felt like the second half of the season, and it came out when he said, last year we ran 30 times against the Panthers and it worked, so we're going to do it again this year. I mean, that statement in and of itself is just silly, especially in the NFL when it's a week-to-week league. Let me put dust off this game plan from last year. Wait, it's tons of different players on the field. Yeah, whatever. Yeah. Grizz out. Adios. I mean, I know a lot of fans didn't like him, but that can help. Getting a seasoned play caller in here like Todd Monken would help. No question about it. But still got the head coach issue. All right. Nathan Elliott, good morning to you. Still refuses to call them the Petermans. I don't know. We may have to ban him. I don't know.
Poor Nathan.
We love you. We love you so much that we continue to put up with your nonsense. That's how much we love. Daniel Orta says, proof that the Glazers don't give a bleep. I'm out. I'm not going to laugh at you guys for being pissed off and saying that you're not going to be back, when I know a lot of you probably will anyway because you love the team. But I think some people have had enough. I've seen it just in my peer group, friend group. There was a large group of us many years ago who we used to have the Buccaneers prognosticating club, and tons of guys who grew up here in Tampa that just lived and died for the Buccaneers. And when the Glazers basically took the team off of TV back in the early aughts, everybody was like, yeah, you know what? Let me go play golf on Sunday. And then they realized their Sundays were a lot happier playing golf than watching the Buccaneers, and they never went back. So be careful. If you think the fans are, oh, don't worry, they'll be back. Don't worry.
They'll always come back.
Be careful on that. There's an old adage in business that it takes a lot of money and effort to gain a loyal customer, but in the blink of an eye, you can lose them. And that becomes a lot of wasted effort and money. And I think that's what the Glazers are kind of walking a fine line here. They really are.
Especially with the lack of transparency here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a problem. Not that the Glazers have always been transparent. They haven't. But I think the fact that you're not in this situation that just begs for some leadership, there's
some explanation.
None. And some explanation, there's none. I think it's and I'm not trying to be mean because I really do love the people over there, but I just, I'm trying to help you out here. It's a slap in the face. And I think the fan base sees it as such. It's one thing to, piss me off, but to piss me off and ignore me, I don't think that's a great strategy. Donald Vesey says, what a joke. His offense was not the problem. It was his first year. Look at what he did the first half of the season. Center is left tackle down to the fifth receiver. Yeah. I mean, they went 6-2 with all those injuries and Grizz calling plays for the first time. And it really, to me, the bye week was the deal. You gave them a whole week off.
And they never came back.
They never came back. I mean, I'm not, so a couple of days practice screwed the whole. No, it's not what I'm saying. It's the message that you send. And then you start losing, and then you're making no adjustments to stop the losing. The mark of a good coach is you don't lose 2 in a row, and you certainly don't lose 7 of 8. Okay, what else we got? Yes, this one from Smooth Seminole. Hey, how are you? Grizzard, good riddance. I wish they would have done the same with Bowles. I kind of understand it, but I would have probably reassigned Josh Grizzard. I wouldn't have fired him because I think he's a really smart guy.
Yeah,
and he's an asset to your organization. Just firing him, I don't know. It feels almost like some type of
feels like you're blaming him too much for what happened.
Right, exactly. Nathan Elliott says Josh Grizzard fired. Hopefully Hinson, Castle, Pete, and Somerville will be next. Who's out there for OC? Says Smooth Seminole. Put that up there. Where is that? Any suggestions? Well, Shieldhouse's name has been kicked around, the McVay understudy. And again, we asked the question, why would he come here when he's going to have a ton of other opportunities? His name's being mentioned as head coach material.
Yeah.
And that's how much people are dying to get, part of this McVay magic that, Liam Cohen and all of the, his disciples have, spread about the league that are having success. And I don't know. I don't know why he would come to the Bucs in this situation. So that's the other problem. Josh Grizzard Shoyenka says you're going to put him in that group? Wow, that's harsh. Sergio says, why aren't there any defensive coaches' heads rolling yet? They were worse than the offense. So let's go ahead and play this out. So Todd Bowles is going to fire Josh Grizzard, and then all of his buddies on the defensive staff with the absolute ass kicking this defense was so bad and has been for a while.
Yeah, this isn't a one-year thing, right? Like this didn't just happen.
No. Tampa Bay 2020 says the Glazers are purposely sabotaging the fan base. Seats will be empty, which gives them more bartering power with the city and the county. That makes no sense. Why would they do that? And by the way, let's talk a little bit about the financial stuff here, because I think this is important. Excuse me. Actually, let's take a break. Come back on the other side so I can get a cough drop. And I want to get into this financial side of it because I looked into this a little bit, put some feelers out to see exactly what's going on here from a financial standpoint. I do think it's a factor. So we'll dive into that a little bit. We're brought to you by the great folks at Italiano Insurance. We love the folks over there. Another great local company. We talk about them all the time. 60 years they've been doing insurance business here in town. You know why? Because they have phenomenal customer service. They still have human beings answering the phone. Your neighbors, right? They employ your neighbors, and they are fantastic people over there. Charity does all the work for me over there. Fantastic. They will email you in the middle of the night if you're looking for car insurance on a late at night because it's expiring. Who would do such a thing? Me.
No one.
And they get right back to you at 10:30 at night to make sure it's done by midnight. Yeah, they do that at Italiano Insurance. That's what they do. They save my ass all the time, and they'll do it for you. They save your ass, they save you money, save you everything, and they're just great folks over there. So whatever questions you have, get all your insurance stuff out, call them, tell them what you got, see if they can find you something better to make sure that you're fully insured. Business insurance, flood insurance, got to have it all. Italiano Insurance, 813-877-7799. Back with your comments, and we'll dig into the finances as well. Stay with us. Holidays are the best time to get engaged because all the family's already together. And at the Golden Diamond Source, they have thousands of diamonds to choose from in their jewelry wonderland. Looking for a gift that says forever? Find stunning engagement rings, diamond earrings, diamond bracelets, the most stylish gold fashion jewelry. And there's plenty for men in their new men's section and watch department. There's something for everyone on your list. And don't settle for anything less than perfection. At the Golden Diamond Source, they make it easy to give a gift they'll never forget. They wrap it up nice for you. You don't have to do any of that, guys. And they have a great staff there. You may not know what to get your lovely wife or girlfriend, but they do. Let them do the work. Hey, finance your purchase for 0% interest for up to 5 years. You could get a $5,000 diamond for only $84 a month. Don't go to the mall. Go to a local company and keep it local this Christmas at the Golden Diamond Source. 3800 Ulmerton Road. Always online at thegoldendiamondsource.com.
Some love you give only at Golden Diamond Source.
JP here for the Jeeves Law Group and my man, Scott Jeeves. If you're going to hire an attorney, do you want some guy looking for a quick settlement and a quick buck, or do you want an attorney with some chops? Scott is a board-certified civil trial lawyer and a certified circuit court mediator. Been practicing in the Tampa Bay area for over 30 years. He is a peer-reviewed AV preeminent-rated civil trial lawyer. They just don't hand out those classifications. He's been the lead class action counsel on many complex consumer protection cases and has handled hundreds of serious personal injury cases. He's dedicated his career to protecting injured victims and is committed to vigorously representing you. We're local, we're trusted, and we get results. Personal injury and personal attention. Call for a free case evaluation. That's 888-9-JEEVES. That's 888-9-JEEVES. The Jeeves Law Group. Welcome to Kingmakers, home of the JP Peterson Show studio and Tampa's premier business networking and social club for members only. By day, it's an exclusive, vibrant co-working space with a stylish conference room, focus rooms, a full production studio, and an in-house marketing team. And by night, Kingmakers transforms into a sports-centric social hub with a full sports bar, golf simulator, and exclusive events. For young entrepreneurs and seasoned professionals, it's the perfect place to work hard, play hard, and make big moves in Midtown Tampa. Close the deal, celebrate the win. Only at Kingmakers. Become a member today at kingmakerstampa.com. Your business, your club. JP here for Third Generation AC and Plumbing. And Third Generation really says it all, folks. The owner, my friend John Rodriguez, has been in the AC and plumbing business since 1995. They built their business on honest assessments and doing great work on time for a great price. Simple, right? Did you know many AC techs are incentivized on big commissions to sell new AC units and you might just need a drain cleared? So if you want someone you can trust, that's John Rodriguez in Third Generation Services. Check out the 5-star Google reviews. If you have a plumbing or AC emergency, call 813-961-8024 and a human will answer the phone. That's 813-961-8024 or go to thirdgenerationplumbing.com.
Ciao, Paolo Tini here, owner of Caffè Paradiso, voted number 3 People's Choice Award on Open Table. I want to thank all our loyal family of customers that have been enjoying our great traditional Italian dishes we make from scratch every day. It's a great family story we're proud of. Our family moved from Rimini, Italy in 1984. My dad, Caesar, started Donatello, and that's where I got the start in the restaurant business. I started Caffè Paradiso on South McDill in 1995, and we've been there ever ever since, from our traditional ossobuco, a veal slow roast for 4 hours, to our daily fresh catch, the Gruppo Paradiso, with a piccata sauce and lobster claw meat, homemade pasta like lasagna, farfalle salchicha, which is a bow tie pasta homemade with fresh sausage. Hold on a minute, JP's favorite.
I love it.
So come and have a glass of wine with me on South McDill. Get a reservation on Open Table and see all our 5-star reviews. Ciao, see you soon at Paradiso.
Let's go.
Right now. Back to the show on FanStream Sports.
Welcome back to the JP Peterson Show, featuring you, the Petermans, in our second hour. Cannot wait to talk to you guys about all this stuff going on with the Buccaneers. We'll talk some college football too if you want to. So bring it into the comments. You can do that on Twitter at JP Peterson Show, on YouTube. You can do that on Facebook as well. JP Peterson, go to that. And you can comment and get in here. And we want to thank the great folks at Third Generation Plumbing, thirdgenerationplumbing.com. By the way, great outfit to work for. My good buddy over there, John Rodriguez, who runs this great family business since 1995, said, hey, can you put out an all-call? We're so freaking slammed because, of course, you're advertising on the JP Peterson Show. They're so busy that they got to hire more plumbers and more AC technicians. So if you're an AC technician and you don't like your boss, or you're working for some corporate jerk, you want to work at a great company, a great family company, they give you all the holidays off. They have benefit plans for you, and it's like a family there. Well, go to thirdgenerationplumbing.com, send them an email, send them your resume, and you can go work for them because they are great, great folks. PJ over there and John, a real family business, and you don't have to cheat your way through all your service calls like your corporate bosses are asking you to do, to sell people things that they don't need. They don't do that at Third Generation Plumbing. So if you want to clear your conscience for working with some of these old dirty corporate people, and you want to go to a family-owned business, Third Generation Plumbing is where you need to work. So if you're a plumber or an AC tech and you're looking for a change, tell them JP sent you, by the way, and go over and get a better job. And they pay well, too. So thirdgenerationplumbing.com. Love those folks over there. All right. I was just perusing Twitter as I do during the breaks, Timmy.
Sure.
And our good friend Trevor Sycamore said, okay, this was yesterday, by the way, before Harbaugh was taken off the market by the Glazers in terms of coming to Tampa Bay. Said the Buccaneers fired Todd Bowles, then they hired John Harbaugh, who then hires Todd Monken as OC. Harbaugh calls Wink Martindale back as DC. Light trades multiple picks for Max Crosby, then another for Nick Herbig, signs Nakobe Dean in free agency. I think we said most of this yesterday, and I'm all in. Like those were all possibilities on the table yesterday.
Yeah.
So we could have done that. We're doing this.
But let's run it back with Todd. Thad Lewis just got fired.
Did he really? So all the offense. All the offensive guys. Thad Lewis, another bright young mind.
Thad Lewis is gone.
Another bright young mind. What a clown show.
Is there a possibility that Jason Light is involved in? I'm not talking about making the firing decisions. I'm talking about losing his job. You think that's on the table with all of this? Is that why we haven't heard from him?
Maybe.
I can't explain why we haven't heard from the GM of the team among all these firings. Like, why else?
Maybe he's not on board.
Then who's making the decisions?
Todd.
Okay, if that is the case,
I don't know if I'm going to be able to get through this hour.
That is a legitimate
Without
clown
punching a
show
wall.
if that is what's happening. I can't imagine that's what's happening.
Yes, by the way, Rick Stroud announcing Tom Moore retired. It's so bad. This dude that's been in coaching for 1,000 years has said, I've had enough.
He's like, I'm out now.
This is
Today,
where I draw
finally,
the
I'm
line.
out.
87 years old. I've been coaching for 75 years.
I've been in the NFL for 140 years, and I'm
This
finally
is a
out.
bridge too far. This shit show is a bridge too far. I'm done. It drove me out of coaching. Nah, but hey, Tom Moore, just the best of the best, man. We wish you the best. I know his wife has been a little ill. He's had to step away, and prayers to you and his wife and all that. So what a dude. What a great guy. What an icon. That's another, it's another great mind that is leaving the building. Josh Grizzard, Thad Lewis, highly regarded. These guys may have not done the greatest job this year, but they're smart people. And they're good coaches. I think they are. And there's a place for them. But I wonder how Baker feels about this. This is all we haven't seen the finished product yet of what this is going to look like. So it's kind of hard to judge it all. But, if we have to judge it in the moment, I think, to me, we're getting rid of the younger, brighter minds and keeping the older, slower, tired minds.
I mean, it's not uncommon for an NFL quarterback to comment somewhere, either on social media or publicly, when your coordinator and your position coach both get fired within hours of each other, right? Like, that's not unheard of.
Well, I don't think we'll hear from Baker on this. He's a team guy. He's a there's so many ways you could have gone here and energized the fan base and made your team better. So many ways you could have gone. And this is just absolutely tone deaf, wrong way. All right, here we go. Jim Lane, I guess, is the name here. And again, give me some names, guys, so I don't have to do these stupid avatars here. Glazers are pinching pennies. He says they owe $40 million to coaching buyouts for Manchester United. Plus, they're building a $2.5 billion stadium. That's why they haven't been spending money over here. Okay, let's address this. So I looked into this a little bit, and first of all, the Glazers don't run Man United anymore. That has been given off to Sir Schmuckalot, whatever his name is, who bought
I almost spit coffee out my nose right there.
Whatever his name. So, and he's financially invested in the Man United as well. So the money that, first of all, it's not like the Glazers are writing a $2.5 billion check for their new stadium. They're not even, I would venture to say, they're not using a penny of their own money to pay for any of this. This is all being leveraged and loaned. It's not, this is not like, oh, we got to suddenly move $2.5 billion into this account to pay for that. That's not how it works. They don't use any of their money. As far as running the team, all these buyouts that are being in the last 18 months that they've had to do, from what I've been told, especially how premierships are run, there's plenty of money to handle all this stuff, and it should not affect what they're doing over here. And that said, I hear people say, well, they're not going out into free agency and spending a lot of money. Well, that's because they've been taking care of their own players. They're still spending money. Just because you're not giving it to players that are coming in from the outside doesn't mean you're not spending the money. They took care of Mike Evans. They gave Baker his new contract. Gedeke, all these new contracts that they have, Antoine Winfield, they've been taking care of all their guys, and we've celebrated that. I think that's smart. It doesn't make big splashes, but continuity wins in this league. So they're spending to the cap for the most part. I think they ended the season with like $8 million in cap space. I went through the numbers this morning, and they're up there with everybody else in terms of what they're spending. Just because they're not making the big pop for Micah Parsons doesn't mean they're not spending money. So I think there's a little bit of a disjointed thing there. So, and from what we understand, because these contracts aren't made public, the coaching contracts, Bowles signed a 3-year deal, a 2-year extension plus an option. So he was making that last report like $3 million. So this new contract, what is it, 5, 6, maybe? So you're looking at a buyout of $10 to $12 million. I don't, I'm guessing. I'm taking you through my process here, so I don't know. Maybe they gave him $12 million a year. That would shock me. But so I don't think the buyout is a thing. I could be wrong, but I don't think this is a money thing. What do you think, Tim? Am I reading this wrong?
I don't think money is an issue here. I'm seeing reports, and again, it's not out publicly, but I'm seeing reports as he's making $9 million a year on his new deal.
He went from 3 to 9.
That's what, again, none of this is substantiated. This is just people guessing because we don't have the figures, but I'm seeing multiple places that are guessing it's around 9. I mean, that would be 3 times what he was making. That seems weird for a guy that's underperforming on the field.
And plus,
but if you love the guy that much,
negotiating to keep him,
yeah,
it wasn't like people were knocking down the door.
If you love him that much, you're retaining him this year. Why wouldn't you overpay for him on his? I mean, this is all making sense a little bit now. But yeah, I don't think a buyout or anything. Dude, that's not a thing for this in the NFL. These billionaire NFL owners have money for all of this. It comes from everywhere. And a guy that's making even $9 million a year, the buyout for that, even if it's $20 million, that's to better the product on the field, to earn more revenue, that pays for itself.
Yeah, I'm just going to dismiss that. I don't think it's a thing. I don't either. Louis FPP says, if you have players openly saying things about the coach, you got Rachaad White dreaming about playing with Jaden Daniels for multiple weeks. There's definitely things going on. Okay. Yes. Remember Camp Kumbaya, Timmy? We've been talking about this. Never seen a team so together, no dissension, blah, 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 right?
Yeah.
Well, where did that go? We got Mike Evans screaming 3rd and 28. Mike Evans' body language the last few weeks is the worst I've ever seen it.
Yep.
The worst I've ever seen it. You've got, Tristan Wirfs coming out saying, when he was asked about all the negativity about Todd Bowles, he's like, yeah, we see it. Hey, look, if he's here, I'm paraphrasing. He said, if he's here, he's here. If he's gone, he's gone. We still got a season coming up. There was in those exit interviews, I didn't hear it anyway. I didn't hear a whole lot of Todd's our guy. Now, I love Todd Bowles. He's doing a great job. It's fantastic. Screw the fans. He's my, I didn't hear any of that. Yeah. I heard the practices are too soft. We took too much time off. It's, defense is complicated. I didn't hear any of that. And there's a lot of fractures. There was arguing. Tristan's arguing with Bucky on the sideline. We haven't seen that ever.
Infighting.
Yeah. There's something going on. And if you think that all these players are, lockstep behind Todd Bowles, no. Now, I've heard Levante David talk about Todd that way. Now, Levante did. We talked about mostly Todd as a man. He didn't go out of his way to say, about how great the game plans were or the defense, because it wasn't. You're not going to stand up there and say that shit because we know it's ridiculous. All right, Nathan Elliott says the season pass members and games attending fans will continue to go to the games. The haters and trolls will continue to make fake comments and statements that will not affect anything. Nathan, I'm going to say this. You're right about them going to the seats will be filled. I said this yesterday, and I think it to be true. Most of the season ticket holders, and I would say of the 65,000, I think we probably have close to 50,000 season ticket holders. Probably close to that. Mm-hmm. So, and all the suites have been sold out. And when Brady was here, they signed 5-year deals. So I think some of those are probably not being renewed, but you have to renew a year before. So at most everybody has renewed their tickets because there was a lot of optimism in Baker and everything coming into the year, right? I think everybody was pretty upbeat. Yeah. And they probably renewed all their tickets in August. I think it was when they had to do it. But I think if you went and polled your season ticket holders right now, if they could get out and not have any, because they set it up that they put a lot of money into you get a lot of credit. So they set it up so if you decide to quit in the middle of it, you lose a lot. Yeah, you lose a lot of of what you've accumulated in terms of your bonus and whatnot. That was a terrible explanation of it, but you get the idea. So, and that's just smart business. I'm not saying I'm sure most every team does this. It's just smart business. So I don't think you're going to see necessarily a lot of people drop their tickets right now because they make it really hard to do so. You're going to lose a lot. So, but some have just eaten and said, F it, I'm out. But I think you're going to see a lot of people selling their tickets. Who the hell wants to go to a game when you hate the product, you're just frustrated by it. It's tons of money. You could sell your tickets to the Pittsburgh Steelers fans who are coming to town and make money. And this year, I blamed you fans in the past. I don't like you doing that. But how can I blame you? The Glazers are bringing this upon themselves. It is going to be a stadium full of, unless there's some part of this plan that I don't know, and they're going to do all the, they're going to go out and get Max Crosby and Jacoby and all these other players. They better, because you're going to have to try and put some lipstick on this pig. It's a lot of lipstick, and it's going to cost you a lot of money.
Sometimes it's worth it.
Yeah. Get drunk enough, she look good.
That's my philosophy on everything, JP.
Greg DeCruz says the 2026 Bucs slogan, nobody does walkthroughs better than us. Donald Vesey, I hope you're talking about the Bucs and not this show. Clown show. What are you talking about? I think you are.
I mean, both could be true.
So Nathan Stout says, delaying the inevitable. He'll be fired midseason. Baker will have his 9th new OC in 9 seasons. When we fire the OC with Todd after the 26th season, Baker will have his 10th OC. Terrible decision. This is part of the problem. Here. Yeah, this is part of the problem. Again, this is a perfect time for a reset. It is a perfect time for a reset because you still have a good core, right? This is still an attractive job. You have a quarterback that was up for MVP in the first half of the season. And I'm not saying Baker's perfect, but I think he played through too many injuries. He made the same mistake he made in 22 and tried to play through some injuries. He should have taken a break. That's what backup quarterbacks are for. Because when he did kind of get healthier towards the end, he looked really good. I think it would have, been a much better idea to give him maybe a 2-week break or a week after the bye, whatever, and get him healthy for that stretch run. And so he could throw the ball downfield to the receivers when they came back. The strength of your team. And you don't think Josh Grizzard wanted to do that? You think Josh Grizzard wanted to run the ball on first down every effing play? I don't buy that. He's too smart for that. And now you're stuck with it. So now you're stuck with this guy. And it's going to be hard to get OCs or any other quality offensive people to come here with a lame duck coach. You're going to end up firing him next year. And maybe you got somebody available next year. Maybe, Harbaugh's taking a year off and maybe he wants to come back. I don't know. Maybe you got some other plan because this certainly doesn't look like it.
So, JP, do you think that around the league, Todd Bowles has a reputation for meddling within his offense, maybe more than he should? And if so, is that why they keep getting first-year coordinators and they can't bring in somebody with experience? Because why would they want to work for Bowles who's going to meddle in his offense?
It's a good question. It's an excellent question. If I were an OC and I would look at this job and go, I got Wirfs, I got Baker, I got a really good offensive line. Got Bucky, probably bring in another running back and a really good group of receivers. Yeah, it's an attractive job from an offensive standpoint, I would think. But what about the head coach? If he's not going to give you autonomy to run what you want to run, that's a no-go. And the other part is if he gets fired, even if you do well, does the new coach want something else? Now, there's another school of thought that says, hey, I go to Tampa Bay, I might be the head coach by week 10.
That's the other side of the coin.
Now, listen, maybe they bring in a hotshot offensive coordinator and they say, if this doesn't go well defensively, why do you think it's going to change though defensively? Like, what gives you the feel? Louis FPP says David Bailey, Texas Tech would solve a lot of problems on this defense.
Yeah, he'd solve a lot of problems on a lot of defenses.
They got to get an edge rusher, man. It's just like you cannot. I mean, this is a Bowles thing. I think one of the reasons we haven't had one of those guys is because he wants those players to be able to drop into coverage 20% of the time. And that's not, you can't get a guy like, a 290-pound defensive end coming off the end. It's one of these game wreckers because, and if you're a true edge rusher, do you want to come play in this defense where you're dropping into coverage? No. What's Buckin says, I feel bad for Todd. He's getting a lot of heat from 90% of Tampa Bay. He helped us win a Super Bowl, and a lot of plays from last season was on the players, not all on Bowles. Fix the staff and get some dogs. Okay. All right, let's talk about this. Did the players make mistakes? 100%. 100%. That is not clock management at the end of the first half against the Panthers and the stuff that we've seen forever from Todd Bowles. Terrible clock management. Same issues in New York. It's always been there. And he's just not an aggressive coach the way he manages games. Gets up 2 scores, goes conservative. That's not the way to win in this league. You play too many close games and you're going to lose. They're probably going to be 50-50. Unless you're a really, really good tactical coach and you have a great quarterback in the 2-minute. But look at his game. Look at his numbers in 1-score games. Last year, 2-6 in 7-point games. This year down the stretch, he was 2-5. That's a thing. Go look at the great coaches in 1-score games. They're really good. They're really good. Todd's not. Never has been.
No.
But keep bringing it back, thinking hire a clock management guy, do whatever you think you're going to do to win. Ain't going to work. And it's just my personal opinion, but I think Zach Beisline, I think it's in the early part of the year, they were letting teams score touchdowns to come back and win. The later part of the year, they weren't doing stuff like that. It would look a lot more like Todd Bowles managing the clock when they lost 7-8. That's what it looked like to me. RJ Martin says, not happy about Bowles, have been complaining for a while about his game management and thought the end of the season would have been the nail in the coffin. I mean, that last game, they should have lost it like the other ones. But they won it. And by the grace of some really bad calls that went the Bucs' ways. Yeah.
And who would have thought early in the season when we were praising literally everything except the defense still, that here we'd be in early January talking about dysfunction in the organization. Like, this is just mind-blowing to me.
Well, like I always say, football exposes everything, the game. You can't cheat it. You can't cheat the game, and it's on display every Sunday. So you got to look at what's on the field, all right? And then kind of deduce what's going on behind the scenes, but things that are going wrong, right? You see players infighting, that's not a good thing. You see players, coverage is constantly being busted. Guys running wide open all the effing time. And Todd's like, oh, we got to, busted, man. Guy played it wrong. Get out of here. 4th and 14. They knew exactly what coverage you were going to be in. The guy ran to the sticks and turned around. They high-load you. And everybody wants to blame the players. No, that is the honey hole. And Kirk Cousins knew exactly where he was going. Knew exactly what play was happening. And so did I. And as soon as he uncovered in that honey hole because they had Bijan Robinson. Listen, if he dumps it down to Bijan Robinson in the flat, he's one-on-one with Kendall Vildor. And nothing but green grass. You think he's going to make that play? I think it was Kendall. I forget who it was. Doesn't matter.
It was too,
There's nobody on this roster one-on-one in the flat with Bijan Robinson that's going to bring him down because there wasn't anybody else near him. Take your pick. Dump it down to Bijan. He'll probably score. Throw it in the honey hole. You get a first down. You know why? Because you rush 4. And you let him have all day to take a peek. And he knew exactly what the coverage was going to be. That ain't on and everybody wants to yell, and Todd wants to blame the players. Bullshit.
Well, JP, all they can do is coach him. If they don't listen, that's not his fault.
Well, every defense is designed to work. You can always say, oh, this is what that guy was supposed to do. I mean, duh.
Well, that's what separates good coaches from great coaches. The schemes are all the same. It's how you teach the players to run the scheme that makes the difference.
Exactly.
And finding the players that can run your scheme.
And being predictable. You can beat any defense if you know what defense they're going to be in. There's plays to beat every defense, and that's one of them. And you don't think Kirk Cousins, you don't think they knew what defense he was going to run? Everybody did. 4th and 14. He's going rush 4, cover 2. That's not on the players. That's on the coaching. If your coaching is that predictable and you're rushing 4 guys and you know you're not going to get any heat on the quarterback, I don't know. That's not on the players. Bantry says, just as a point of reference, I'm an ex-Browns fan. This reminds me so much of Hugh Jackson being brought back 3 years in a row. It's scary. Yeah. Tampa fan 86 says, if you're having to have a DC and OC hired to run those, and Bowles is bad at knowing when to call timeouts and game management, what is the role really going to be? And at that point, why keep Bowles? Yes. I mean, golly, this is just like so obvious. Yeah, Bowles' idea of change is our offensive side. Defense won't be touched. Well, so far it hasn't. I mean, you cannot sit there and tell me you're going to fire the entire offensive coaching staff and not touch the defense. You cannot be serious.
Yeah, there's no way this is like all that's happening. There's no way.
Well, why aren't the defensive coaches being fired then right now?
Maybe they're going in order, like, I don't know, offense first and then defense. I don't know why they'd start doing structured things now.
I feel like that guy on the avocados commercial. Bring me another tray and a kicker.
Yeah.
Bring me another tray and the offensive staff. Defense, nah, you're good. You guys are good. Go take another nap.
Unbelievable.
Bantry says, who in their right mind is going to think about joining the Bucs under Todd is a good idea or career move? Yeah, I think that's pretty good. What's Buckin says, I've even seen Winfield's dad liking a post about bad coaching on Instagram. I don't know if that says anything, but it's interesting. What did Rondé say on his show? By the way, it's a must watch, by the way. Great show. He said the Bucs don't have a base defense that they can go to and he said, we used to have that, that cover 2 and we knew how to play it. And when they were doing different checks at the line, we're like, all right, let's just go do what we do. Everybody understands it. Everybody understands the checks. Everybody understands where to go, what to do at a particular time. This beats that. This beats that. Smart players knowing how to do it. All right, we got a super chat. It's just, he's back. He's back from the Skyway. Can you put that? Why can I not put up the super?
Can you not put them up?
No. When I click on the number at the top, it just doesn't come up. Anyway, it said I could see it. He said, Rep just called, asked me if I've changed my mind about renewing for 2026. I told them no interest in giving money to team till Bowles is out. Did they really call you? Like, hey, we're keeping Todd. What do you think now?
Will that convince you?
Wow. You got to be kidding me. Seriously? Man.
Meets McGee had a super chat too for $2. I see no more than 6 to 7 wins minus Mike Evans.
And if Mike leaves, how big of an indictment is that going to be?
Yeah.
Now, and to answer the question further, no, I don't think Jason Light's on board with any of this. That's my personal opinion.
JP, I think you and I are in trouble. Jimmy J. Voyager on his super chat. He paid money to ask for the text line number because he wants to talk to ownership. I think you and I are in trouble.
Like ownership, the
like
Glazers
sports ownership.
All right. Well, let me get the owner. All right. I got my ownership hat on. Shoot, Jimmy.
We're in trouble.
I got my ownership hat on now.
Yeah.
I can't. That doesn't look good. Hold on. Can't pull it off like you can.
You got to pull it down more.
Down more?
Yeah, in the front.
Yeah, by the way, there was another that when Harbaugh came available, Emily Mayfield liked that. Did you see that?
Yes.
Somebody screenshotted that. I don't know if it's true, but wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, and it's not just Winfield's dad, who, by the way, played in the NFL. There's a lot of people that are looking at this defense, the scheme, and I mean, look at the results. It's awful. Jesus Christ. Red zone defense, awful. Everything's all. It's terrible. How
Jimmy
is
J
that not the whole
clarified, by
staff?
the way.
If you're not going to fire Bowles, you better fire the entire defensive staff. Come on now.
Yeah, Jimmy J clarified. He meant Buccaneers ownership.
Yeah, well, come on. Yeah. They watch the show. They know what's going on. What's Bucket said, and Winfield Jr. had a solid season but didn't play up to the contract extension. No, listen, he was paid the most of any defensive back in NFL history at the time his contract was signed. He came off a historic season. I don't know if anybody expected him to replicate those numbers, but you got to get closer than what you're doing now. That contract has not been good. 1 year was injury riddled, and this year was not good. He just wasn't. He made the Pro Bowl, and I'm not sure how. You know, I'm not saying he played poorly, but he was not a difference maker. You think, Timmy? No. I didn't see him flashing, making big plays.
No, but I feel like he, even as poor as he played, he wasn't the biggest part of the defense. Now, I know he's making the most money, which is an issue in and of itself, but he wasn't the only issue on defense.
Mm-hmm. No, he was not. There's a lot of issues on defense. All right, let's take one more break. We'll come back on the other side, and we'll finish up with all the great comments here. Thank you guys for jumping in. I wanted to definitely give you guys your say today, so that's what we're doing. No question about it. Hey, we're brought to you by the great folks at Cafe Paradiso. Saw Paulo the other night at the Lightning game. Good to see you, brother. If you're looking for a great Italian meal, traditional Italian, I mean the good stuff, the veal parmesan, the chicken marsala, the lasagna, the branzino, the farfalle, all the good stuff. It's at Paradiso, Tampa.com. Cafe Paradiso, right there on South McDill. Great Italian restaurant. The same folks have been working there forever, and that consistency brings you a great meal each and every time. Great atmosphere, great folks there. Makes you feel like you're right there in Sicily. Cafe Paradiso, number 3 on the open table list. Italian restaurants, just the best of the best. Go check them out and tell them JP sent you. Back in 3. Italiano Insurance would like to congratulate the Bucs on their 50th anniversary season. And you know what? We've been here for every season and then some, over 60 years in business. We've seen some smart coaches with great game plans, but if you don't have flood insurance or business insurance, that's a terrible game plan. That could ruin you financially. You don't want to take that L. So call 813-877-7799 and let their friendly agents quarterback your insurance and save you big money. Italiano also sponsors our FSU report every week. So go Noles. 813-877-7799 or go to ItalianoInsurance.com. At Genesis of Tampa, they got some serious ho-ho-ho going on this Christmas. It's the Miracle Holiday Sales Event and their 30 days of giving. First, for any new vehicle in the month of December sold, first payment will be deferred 90 days, and then the dealership will make the first payment up to $500. That can save you a lot of cash that you can use for Christmas shopping. And every day in December, they're giving away a $500 shopping spree. All you got to do is have your car appraised, and you get an entry into the daily drawing for the $500 shopping spree. And every weekend day in December, customers simply need to stop by the dealership, scan the QR code, and they get an entry into the $500 shopping spree contest. No purchase necessary. Test drive a vehicle, and we will 10x your entry into the shopping spree. Christmas and New Year's Eve, each holiday, if a customer books a test drive for the specified day, they will receive a themed t-shirt, limited edition, as well as an additional $250 off the purchase price. Bottom line is, get your butt and your sleigh down to Genesis of Tampa, 801 East Bears Avenue, just off 275. It's going to be a big Christmas at Genesis of Tampa. Although it may seem tempting to go without health care insurance, the financial risk far outweighs the gain you may experience. For example, did you know if you simply broke your leg, it could cost you nearly $7,500? Put on top of that a hospital stay, you could be looking at $10,000 to $15,000. Ensuring that you don't go uncovered is so important, as according to CNBC, high medical bills are the highest contributing factor to why Americans end up taking money out of their retirement savings, or worse, find themselves filing bankruptcy. So go to don'tgouncovered.com or call 800-669-1505. Now, depending on your income, you can get plans for zero premium. Our experts will guide you through the process effortlessly. They will shop many plans and find the one that's right for you. I called and I have full health coverage through Florida Blue for zero monthly premium. It's a free call. So why go uncovered? It's a huge risk. Go to don'tgouncovered.com or call 800-669-1505. That's 800-669-1505. You know, holidays are the best time to get engaged because all the family's already together. And at the Golden Diamond Source, they have thousands of diamonds to choose from in their jewelry wonderland. Looking for a gift that says forever? Find stunning engagement rings, diamond earrings, diamond bracelets, the most stylish gold fashion jewelry. And there's plenty for men in their new men's section and watch department. There's something for everyone on your list. And don't settle for anything less than perfection. At the Golden Diamond Source, they make it easy to give a gift they'll never forget. They wrap it up nice for you. You don't have to do any of that, guys. And they have a great staff there. You may not know what to get your lovely wife or girlfriend, but they do. Let them do the work. Hey, finance your purchase for 0% interest for up to 5 years. You could get a $5,000 diamond for only $84 a month. Don't go to the mall. Go to a local company and keep it local this Christmas at the Golden Diamond Source. 3800 Ulmerton Road. Always online at thegoldendiamondsource.com.
Some love you give only at Golden Diamond Source.
Hey, think about the greatest tandems in sports. Montana to Rice, Brady to Gronk, Baker to Mike Evans. Well, here's a new one. Third generation plumbing and American Standard heating and cooling units. Our split systems offer the highest efficiency available while reducing energy bills and maximizing comfort. Third generation plumbing can handle anything mechanical around the house, plumbing, AC, whatever, and they install the best American Standard heating and cooling units. Built to last, made to perform. Whether it's a new install or an emergency repair, our family-owned team brings 3 generations of trusted service to your home, now with the unmatched reliability of American Standard heating and cooling. So don't wait for the summer heat to return. We've got you covered. Call Third Generation Plumbing and American Standard Heating and Cooling, 813-961-8024. That's 813-961-8024, or go to thirdgenerationplumbing.com.
Let's go. Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome in to the JP Peterson Show. Appreciate you guys joining us. Thank you for jumping in the comments. We are brought to you by the great folks at the Genesis of Tampa. Mike Murphy was in here in our first segment and talk about the great things going on over there. Founders event weekend is coming up this weekend, where they're going to give you your a year earlier trade-in value. So if you have a 2018 BMW, then you'll get 2019 prices. That's pretty cool. Plus, they'll take $1,000 off, and they'll make your first payment as well. So Genesis of Tampa, great place to buy a car. And if you've not driven these cars, they are fantastic. They're giving away a gas card for a year, about a $2,500 value. And you just go in there, take a test drive. They'll 10X your entries with a test drive. Genesis of Tampa, great local company and a great place to buy cars. So check them out right there on 801 East Bears, just off of 275 and Bears Avenue. Any other breaking news going on, partner? I don't know. We shall see. By the way, there was a story yesterday that the Lightning are going to get $250 million for their renovation of Benchmark International Arena. That actually was just a procedural thing that the TSA voted on. Hillsborough County and the Lightning have negotiated a funding package to redo the arena, which is I didn't realize it's one of the oldest in the NHL now, in the bottom third. That's a great building now. I mean, it feels like one of the guys that's going to be doing the work told me they're going to do like a $500 million renovation. Like, really?
Got a new sound system, right?
Yeah, we already did that.
Yeah.
I just did that. They did a lot in 2015. Well, I guess that's now, 10, 11 years ago, but I don't know. But yeah, the Bucs need money. The Rays need money. So there's a lot of money that's going to be going out as part of these deals. So I don't know how it's all going to work out. I got to do some more due diligence on this, but I know, where the Lightning going to be playing for the next till 43. So that's good. All right. Back to the comment section. Ron Hubbard, try to get some new names in here. How you doing? Is it Ron L. Hubbard? If Bowles has to hire DC, who will he hire? Larry Foote?
Oh, Lord.
Who's already here, in case you don't know.
Yeah.
By the way, as Donald Bessie says, do we even bring up special teams? What a shit show. How is McGahee not fired before Josh Grizzard? I know maybe you don't have to do it in order, but like, how is that not?
I feel you should do it in order, right? The ones you deserve it the most go first.
Well, he should have been canned mid-season at the bye, for God's sakes. But, I don't know. Maybe he's on the friends and family list. I don't know. When is Bowles going to fire his buddies on defense? I don't know, Joseph Collins. I guess maybe not. The minute we go into a losing streak, he will revert back to his old ways, says Jeff B. Yep. James says, and also you can give an OC a 3-year deal to come so he has protection. Yeah, that's true. A good OC also, he can be a head coach just by tweaking this talented offensive roster. Bucs will have no problem hiring an OC. James, I think you make some good points here. I think just typically thinking you don't want to go to where there's, kind of a hot seat situation. That's part of it. But if you're a younger guy and maybe you don't have a big family yet, right? And you come here, you're just like, hey, listen, it's proven. If I do well with it, and Baker can make me look really, really good. So yeah, I think I think this is a good job, even with Todd in his situation. Number one, they already got burned once with Liam Cohen, and maybe if they hire a good offensive coordinator, he comes in and does well, and the team as a whole and the defense is sucking again. And, the midseason, just the same shit we've seen for 4 years, right? If it's the same script, maybe this time the Glazers make a bold move and say, okay, we're going to keep the offensive guy, and Todd, you're gone. So maybe this is a good and even if you finish the season like Canales and Liam did, then you're in line to be in the next hot shot offense coordinator to get a job. So I think you're right, James. I think we might be overselling the lame duck situation, because you could still put your wares on display, and if you do well, you might get a head coaching job.
But then again, if Todd Bowles has a reputation for meddling, he could undermine that entire plan for you.
It worked. It worked for Canales, and
it did.
But it didn't work for Grizzard. I think maybe because there was just too many injuries to go around there. And they were, the first-year play caller. It's tough to do. Steven Soper says, you think that's why guys got hurt so much? We don't practice. We're not in shape. Yeah, I do. I think it leads to injury and lack of physical play and terrible tackling on defense. And as Yaya said, and also Jamel Dean, I believe was it Jamel? Just talking about guys not understanding the complexity of the defense. So more reason to make changes.
Yeah.
Formerly known as Jeff B says, another year if this team doesn't look prepared, this team didn't execute. Just got to coach it better. Yeah, that's the thing. It's just no juice. Rick says Todd will give out milk and cookies after practice. Who doesn't like milk and cookies? J-Bomb says injuries the whole season. Next season will be better. Defense needs an edge rusher. Just chill. Is that how you That's that how you lead? From an ownership standpoint? Oh, there's a lot of injuries. We'll just be better next year. And it's not just 1 year. And the team got healthier and got worse.
Yeah, you can use that excuse as an ownership group or a GM when you went, 11-6, 10-7, and then you have injuries and you go 8-9. Then you can say, look, we have a track record. We know the staff knows what they're doing. So, we'll let this injury slide. We have a reason. We have something to build on. But not when it's the same every single year, including the injuries. It's just bad.
Right. 100%. Alejandro Noriega says, bring in Mike McDaniel since he just got let go by Miami. He had success with the Dolphins, even though it was Tua as quarterback. JPP, the reason they kept Bowles was because they want to keep Jason Light. Well, I think that works in the Harbaugh situation, but what about all the other candidates?
Yeah, Kevin Stefanski hasn't said anything about wanting his own GM.
Yeah. And I think there's a lot of coaches like Stefanski maybe, and I don't know if he has a relationship with Jason Light. I think maybe they worked together at one point. Maybe not. I could be remembering that wrong, but I think there's a lot of coaches, candidates that would love to work for Jason Light. He's done a really good job, I think, and he's a great dude. He's very easy to work with. He's not some autocratic a-hole. So,
And by the way, I have no problem with Mike McDaniel as a coordinator.
Yeah, somebody brought that. Does that seem like a fit with Todd Bowles? I'm just saying.
No, and you know what? That's why I like it, because they're not a good fit together. Maybe you need.
So you're going to bring it. So you're going to choose the offense coordinator for Todd?
Well, no.
Again, why are you keeping him then?
Yeah, Todd shouldn't even be here.
Richard Almarico, good morning to you, my friend. He said, this is beyond comprehension. You can't even find anything good to say about the situation. Agreed. Bucs Skull Gang in house says more changes are expected to the Bucs coaching staff. Meetings happening today, so it's fluid. Lot being discussed. So it depends on what number you are in the meeting line to when you get shit canned. Are they going in alphabetical order? No, I don't think so. Joel Forsland, good morning to you, says, JP, the reason I'm out is because I just can't watch that shit anymore. It's the same shit week after week. Polls won't change anything. Not doing it in protest, doing it because of mental health. That's what I said. I told you this after the Saints game, I was walking out with the fans doing the roundabout thing,
Oh, you were among the people.
I was among the people. And getting the hell out of there. And I felt bad for the fans because the Saints fans were just dunking on all the Buccaneer fans. I'm like, man, what if you paid a couple thousand for your tickets and you sat in the rain and you're walking out in the rain and the Saint fans are just dunking on you. And then they say, hey, come back next year for more of the same. No, thank you. Rick says, I heard Fitzpatrick say coaches lose the locker room when they demand more from rookies than vets. Todd will now look phony if he changes his ways. That's interesting. Do I think he's lost the locker room? I do. I think when he went after the players that he lost the locker room. And I think that was one of his big pluses is that the players were really behind him. They liked him, but I think that changed this year. I really do. You get that sense just from what the players are saying publicly and privately. Michael LaRue says the Glazers have managed to alienate two fan bases on two different continents. I don't get the strategy here. Fans don't stay mad forever. They just stop caring. It's a good point. Louis says, I was at that Buccaneers and Saints game in the rain. My first game at Raymond James Stadium. Oof. You going back, partners and Pirate Podcast? You going back, Louis?
Huh.
He will. He's a devoted fan. But it got to put this, it's got to suck, though. I'm not saying I'm out in 2026, says Joel Forsland, to be a dick. There's just no enjoyment in watching a Bowles coach team. Sports are for enjoyment. It's simply not enjoyable. That's true.
Entertainment.
As I said, this is entertainment. Is any part of this entertaining? When Baker's running around doing his thing, that's fun. He juices everybody up, but that's, has nothing to do with Todd Bowles coaching, except he's limited in his options and has to go try and do it himself. Louis says Liam was more ready as a coach. He grew up in Warwick, Rhode Island, 15 minutes from where I'm at. And I heard a lot of good things about him. Also know a couple of guys who played in college for him. Yeah, listen, I thought it became pretty damn apparent at the end of last season that Liam Cohen was going to be a good head coach. And, well, I won't say that. I'll say that he was a brilliant offensive mind. And he was going to get a head coaching job soon, if not this next. I didn't think he was quite ready, but clearly he was. And I called for him to take over for Bowles last year. And it looks like I was right.
$2 super chat from Meets McGee. They can't play freely. Simplify the defense. Well, if you bring in a new guy on defense, they probably will.
Which I think is a must. Defense is stale. It's old. It's not physical. It can't tackle. It doesn't make good checks. It's terrible in the red zone. I mean, what are we doing? Mike H says Washington's in the same boat. No OC, no DC going into year 3 of Dan Quinn. Lame duck. I know. I think Dan Quinn's a good coach.
Dan Quinn's the DC. I mean, make no mistake.
Right. And then they fired
Joe Witt was that was his underling even here in Dallas. He brought him from Dallas. So,
and they fired Cliff Kingsbury.
Yes.
So,
there's an OC for you if he doesn't get a head coaching job.
Again, a guy that I don't know if he plays well with others. I don't know if he'd be a good fit here.
Coach Bro.
Yeah. Hey, JP, I assume Gruden is out of the question for the Glazers then? No, maybe not. Maybe not. So let's wrap this up. And I'm sorry we didn't get to everybody. If you see one in here you want to throw up, Timmy, while I do this, please let me know or just go ahead and do it.
So Forsland, Liam's a young, hungry coach. Bowles is old and complacent. That's a lot of truth to that.
Yeah. I said this yesterday. It's kind of I think this, especially the NFL these days, is more of a young man's game. I'm not saying old coaches can't do it. But it just, I can't imagine, at 63 years old, Todd Bowles, having to try to be a head coach and manage a game and call plays defensively. I don't think it works. I just don't think it works. It's too much, way too much. It's way too much for young kids. And listen, I don't care who you are. As you get older, your brain does not work as fast as it once did. It does not process the way it once did. You're just like an athlete. And when you're in the brains business, as coaches are, especially in the heat of the moment and the pressure, it's just different. If you're over 50, you know what I'm talking about. So I think it's too much to ask, and I don't think Todd has handled it well. The results speak for itself. I still think that there's something fishy going on here. The fact that the Glazers, that we're announcing the coach is staying through a sports writer texting with the coach, confirming it himself, seems really freaking weird to me. And again, no disrespect to Rick or the story is absolutely rock solid, 100%. Believe everything. I'm not saying that. It's just weird.
It just indicates a certain amount of dysfunction is what it indicates.
Yeah, it's just something's weird going on here. Where are the Glazers? Where's the GM? And it's not like this is some obvious situation where the coach is coming back and you don't need to do a press conference. Come on, that's not what this is. So where are the Glazers? How come there? Where's the statement saying how much they love Todd? You love him. You want to tell everybody in the press. How about you come out with a statement and let us all know what's going on? Because at this point, we just have the head coach saying, yeah, I'm coming back. And maybe, the Glazers have done this before. It takes time. And maybe there's somebody out there that they're waiting to clear or waiting to talk to that maybe they can make a move. But if Todd's already firing coaches, then that probably isn't the case. So it's a weird situation, and it's not a good situation. And I hope that we get some more public transparency rather soon, because I think it's deserving of the fan base. If you're going to ask them to, spend thousands and thousands of dollars, then I think they deserve some answers through the media, or if you want to do a town hall or whatever you want to do, but I think they deserve some answers. If you're that excited about Todd Bowles staying on, come tell us why. Because clearly we ain't getting it. We're not.
Jason Light hasn't posted anything on X since late October. Isn't that about when the season went in the toilet?
Yeah. John Hill asked, "Where's Brian Ford?" It's not his place. He's the business end of this.
Yeah, he's front. He's the other side of the building.
Yeah. So that's not going to happen. So here we are. I guess we're moving forward. I think that graphic says it all, partner. You know what you needed to do though? You needed to get the inspire change in there too, with the question marks. I think that would kind of say it even better.
All right.
Yeah. Again, love Todd, great dude, tons of respect, all that stuff. It's just, we all thought it was time for a change, but the owners disagree. And the fact is, we don't matter.
No, exactly.
They do.
It's not about us.
Good luck with that. All right. So national championship game tonight, we will be watching. We'll have a full recap tomorrow for you. Plus we'll preview Indiana and Oregon tomorrow. It's going to be fun tonight. Who you got, Timmy? Who you got tonight? Miami, Ole Miss?
Oh, I've got Miami.
Miami?
Yeah, by double digits easily.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah, this game won't be close.
Wow. All right. I think you're right. Unless Cristobal does something stupid. We shall see. Have a great day, everybody. We will see you tomorrow.